Programming is not a particularly healthy hobby. It involves a lot of sitting still, a lot of thinking very hard, a lot of getting basically obsessed with things. So one of the things that's very important to do is to think about how you're programming. So get your ergonomics set up properly. Make sure your desk is set up correctly. You're not cramped or your neck's not doing something funny, that kind of thing. So just think about how you like to work. Now, I like to work sitting on the sofa with my laptop on my lap, or I like to stand. I don't like sitting at a regular desk, and I don't like doing a lot of things that the kind of classic ergonomics people say, but you've got to find out what works for you. The other thing that's super, super important is that programming is a thinking discipline, not a typing discipline. A lot of people can type very fast, but if you haven't got your brain switched on, you'll do terrible work. And so you can't think if you're sleep deprived. So you need to get a decent amount of sleep, otherwise you'll do bad work. So if you are trying to work out how to plan your week, get your programming work done while you're fresh and intelligent. And then if you've got some like photoshopping or coloring in to do that when you're brain dead and tired. You've got to eat. The number of people who I see not really following that is kind of amazing. You're going to have to do some exercise because all the sitting still is hard on your body. Imagine think about the Shaolin monks. They don't do kung fu because they aspire to be warriors. They do it because they want to be fit so they can meditate for long periods. The sitting still, the thinking requires a lot of physical fitness and strength. So just look after yourself a lot and take breaks. So it's very easy to get stuck on a problem and work on it for hours and hours and hours. But if you're not solving a problem within, let's say, half an hour, it's good to stop and then move on. We talked a little bit about ergonomics. But there's this concept of flow where you're working on a problem that's just the right amount of difficult for you. And if you get into the flow, you might as well stick with it. If you're making progress and you are doing good work, then keep going. But when it starts to stop working, stop. And the biggest thing is going to be forgiving yourself. A lot of programming problems seem incredibly hard until you get it. And then you're like, oh, I'm so stupid. But actually, that's a very dangerous narrative. You're not stupid, you're learning. And so when you make some kind of great discovery, think to yourself, oh, that's great, I made a discovery, rather than, oh my God, I was so dumb for the last 2 hours. And that's going to reflect in how your learning process works. In this course, you're going to learn a lot of foundational skills. But in software in general, there's this drop-off idea that as you learn something new, the things you understand are essentially useless within a couple of years. So that time period there is 3 years, I think. Depends, it changes all the time. It's getting faster. But this course will cover the beginning part, the little ramp at the beginning of that red bit, and it will provide you with the basic skills that are going to be useful throughout your career. And then throughout your career, you're going to be learning new things all the time, and their usefulness is going to drop off, but you're going to be constantly learning new things. We're going to be doing the ramp, which is going to take you onto the part of being a kind of hardcore, useful person. And this is called the Red Queen effect, which was sort of created by Lewis Carroll. And the idea is that the Red Queen says you have to keep running incredibly fast to be able to stay in the same place.